because I thought that they were really, really good and had major potential, but I always felt Sam, like, it's like it's like a girl he was dating that he really liked, but he always wanted to keep his eye open for some other stuff, and he was done with the Wabos, and he went on to the Circle after this, and of course, Chad had the Chili Peppers and this and that, but I really thought that if you really wanted to do this, you could make it work. And I'll tell you what, just like you said earlier in this conversation, there's a lot of space in between the Chili Pepper stuff, and you can work around putting albums out and doing tours, and you don't have to do monster tours. And the way things are today, we can do Weekend Warrior stuff. You could put out an album and spend the year doing spot shows here and there all over the country if you wanted to. There's ways to do it. First of all, I felt that Satriani loved being in Chickenfoot. Every time I've spoken to Satriani, and I've spoken to him a lot about Chickenfoot, he's like way into it. When are we doing the next Chickenfoot? I know Mike's way into Chickenfoot. I know Chad loves to do it when he can. Chad will take everything on. I mean, he's just like that. He wants to do everything. Right. So he'll make it work as much as he can. I don't know. Did you ever get the feeling that Sam was kind of like, it's like he wasn't fully engaged in Chickenfoot? It's like he loved Chickenfoot, but it was always like a little side fun thing or something. I don't know.
Well, that could have been, and that was always the question for most of these guys.
Yeah,
because except for Mikey, they all had what I'll call daytime jobs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the question is this really a band?
Right.
Or is this just a side project and you'll come back to it and bang out an album and maybe do a tour?
Right.
And how vested are you in it?
Yeah.
It's a fair question.
Yeah. And I always thought that they could all do what they do full time and still do Chickenfoot, because, you make the effort to do like an album and then, do a tour. You could fit it in. You really could. And I'm surprised that maybe they haven't really, I don't know, there wasn't some commitment on Sam's part. All I know is every time I asked Joe about it, he kept saying, ask Sammy, man. Sammy, everybody keeps pointing to Sam because we know.
Yeah. I mean, I'll believe that because, for all this talk about, Chad's got the Chili Peppers, but Chad's banging out albums all the time.
Well, he's all over the place.
Right. Now, he's not touring, granted, but he's still pretty prolific in terms of recording. So if Chickenfoot wanted to record, they absolutely could.
Oh, totally.
Now, if they wanted to tour too, well, that's the rub, honestly. That's the rub. Can Chad get away long enough to tour?
Right.
But I would say these days, he probably could, because Sam is not interested in big, long, full-blown tours anymore.
Totally.
So if he does what you call the Weekend Warrior tour, which is, a little bit here, a little bit there, or, you just do it over like a couple of months and then you're done. Like, Chad could be all in on that. But I think the reason why we really don't hear from Chickenfoot anymore is because of Chickenfoot 3. And I know we're here to talk about the first Chickenfoot album.
Yeah.
But the issue with Chickenfoot 3 is it really didn't do as well as everybody thought it would.
Right.
And it really wasn't for lack of effort, because they did videos, they did discussions, track-by-track songs that they put little mini videos on. I mean, they did everything right to promote the album.
Right.
And it did not do nearly as well as the first album.
Right.
I mean, the first Chickenfoot album, it went gold.
Right.
It went to number 4.
Right.
I mean, it did really, really well.
Yeah, and it's funny. They say in life, timing is everything. That second Chickenfoot album came out at a time when music sales started seriously waning.
That's true. Yes, that's true. But I think even taking that into account, I still think it didn't meet expectations.
Right.
Because I remember years later, somebody asked Sam, and he's like, well, I don't want to do another Chickenfoot album again if it's not going to do well.
Right.
I don't want to put all that time and effort if it's going to bomb.
Right.
But then again, he's also said about other things, I just do it for the love of music.
Yeah, well, look, the space between is not lighting the world on fire. I mean, It's not that way anymore. Anyone will tell you. Anyone will tell you. You make an album, you do it to make an album. And you do it for the fans and for the love of making an album. The money is all in fucking touring now. It is in touring and merch. Touring and merch is everything. Okay?
Right.
And I'll tell you the perfect example. Okay? They just announced a Black Crowes tour. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay?
Yes.
Right? This is how the Black Crowes tour came about. Everybody thinks the Robinson brothers went to Easter one year and then sing Kumbaya and they all ate lamb and hugged each other. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. What happens is Live Nation is in the business for promoting concerts. The artists today, they're hot 1 minute, they're not hot the next minute. 1 minute, Justin Bieber is selling out 4 nights at Madison Square Garden. The next year, Justin Bieber's not even touring, he's not making an album, he's not doing nothing, no one cares. It's just the way the cycle goes. No one has longevity careers. So what they're doing is, Live Nation goes into their basket and they go, who can we resurrect? Now, obviously, last year, like the Stones were touring, and the year before that, U2 were touring, and Madonna, all this stuff, and they start looking, who can we resurrect? Well, the Black Crowes are coming up on their 30th anniversary next year. And then he said, what came out 30 years ago? Shake Your Moneymaker, their most popular album with all their hits. What if we threw a fuck ton of money at the Robinson brothers and said, hey guys, why don't you guys do a reuniting of the Brotherhood and you'll come back together and kumbaya and it'll be the 30th anniversary and we'll play Shake Your Money Maker from top to bottom and we'll sell out across the country. That's exactly what the fuck happened. Okay?
Oh yeah, but it's almost laughable.
Yeah.
Because it's just the brothers and no other members of the band.
It's an absolute joke. It's Johnny Colt, Mark Ford, and Steve Gorman, the Black Crowes, they're not in the fucking band. They weren't even called. And you know what? Do you want to know what the Robinson brothers said? And they even said it on Stern. We weren't doing it unless it was just the two of us. And we could hire our own people.
Because they're cheaper. No, it's like Roth is doing now.
Right, like Roth is doing now. It's very simple.
Right.
So, anyway, getting back to Chickenfoot. So my question is are we ever going to see Chickenfoot again?
Man, don't hold your breath.
I know. I don't know because we'll see. Anyway, this album is produced by Andy Johns, who was the producer of Van Hagar's best album, which was For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. And he does a killer job capturing the chemistry of this band. This album sounds amazing.
It does. It does. God. But I think it took a lot of convincing to get Sammy to buy in for Andy Johns to produce the album.
Well, let me tell you something. Andy, who is known, he's passed away now, unfortunately, but he was a genius at what he did. And let me tell you something. This album sounds good. I mean, it really
does sound good. Sonically, it is rock solid.
It is 10 years old, and it sounds fresh. It really does. It pops out. So to start the album, they have this weird titled tune called Avenida Revolucion, and they come out the gate heavy, and they have some really thick beats and a crunchy sound. I think the music is really strong here. But Sammy could have done a little more with the chorus, I thought. His lyrics are fine, but there's something a little lackluster in the chorus there. The main refrain, crossing the border into the fire, I thought he could have used a little bit more Michael Anthony background vocals. There's not a shit ton of Michael Anthony background vocals on this album. It's here and there, but it's not the sound you would expect from Sam and Mike. That big, huge, sweeping harmonies. It comes in here and there on certain songs, but I tell you, Holy shit, does Satch sound amazing on this album? And Chad, oh my God, these guys are really giving Mike and Sammy an incredible platform to play on. I mean, the musicianship on this album is through the roof. What did you think of this song, Dave?
So I like this song.
Yeah.
The chorus doesn't bother me.
Okay.
I think 10 years later, this song is just as relevant or more relevant than ever.
Yeah.
In light of what's going on in the world today.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Heavy, rocking, great way to start off the album, especially with Satch's little guitar intro thing and then they go right into the song.
Sure.
Lyrically, very good. Really good for Sam, because Sam's like either hit or miss. He either really knocks it out of the park or you're rolling your eyes the whole time.
Right.
But this one was solid. I hear what you're saying about Mike's background vocals. There's definitely I'll call it like a Chickenfoot vibe that comes, especially on this album when Mike and Sammy are singing together.
Right.
That it sounds like Van Hagar because it's the two of them.
Right.
But it's not what you would expect.
No, it's not what you would expect.
I mean, and I'll chalk that up to two things. Number one, Ed's not singing with them.
Right.
And I think that's, the secret sauce in the Van Halen vocal mixture that's missing. Uh-huh. But the other thing is there's no multi-tracking of Mike's vocals for the background.
Very true.
So, and that really changes the sound, especially from what you're used to. It's not bad.
Right.
It's just different. But, I mean, I think it still works overall. I mean, I think Mike's vocals are on the album, but not just the way you expect. But Avenida Revolution, really good. Starts the album off with a bang. Yeah. It's one of my favorite songs on the album.
It sets the tone for sure, and it gives you the feel of the kind of album you're going to be in for. So now this is with the exception of one track, this is a fucking rockin' album. I mean, that's what I love about this. I love the sound. I love the feel. There's a great vibe to this album. So the next song, Soap on a Rope, this is a nice romp. It's got a tasty riff.
Don't forget to bring your rocking shoes. Grab a toothbrush, soap, and a comb. And you can pick up a little taste. Get your favorite buzz on. And you can leave the rest at home.
Interesting, there's a little bit of a theme here. Sam's lyrics are a bit thin. Let me give you a couple of lines. Got money, got fame, fast cars, and everything. It's like, come on, dude. Got a woman?
It almost sounds like you're reading Dr. Seuss.
It is. Dave, listen to this. Got a woman? Got a woman. Fine, too. Let me do anything I want to do. I mean, it's like, I know you're not supposed to take it out of context because it's probably part of the song, but it's a little thin. You know what I mean? It's like, Sam is interesting. He can really do great vocals, like Seventh Seal and things like that. Like, when he really throws in, he does. Then there's times when you can feel he's being lazy. And this kind of reminds me a little bit of like OU812 when he's doing like Naturally Wired and Sucker in a Three-Piece. It's like the music's fantastic. And he's just sort of coming in and out. And I'm going to cite a theme that goes throughout this album that you can't believe. But there's very little lyrics on some of these songs. And there's times when you're halfway through the song and Sam just stops doing any lyrics. And it goes off into all kinds of musicianship, which actually works because the musicianship is so goddamn good on this album. But there's a lot of air in between a lot of these lyrics. It's interesting. You know, Satch delivers this incredible riff. It's just fantastic. I mean, the music really hits home here, and the guitar solo is different and really cool. And, you know, Sammy he just yells things out a lot in this album, like, get your soap up, get your buzz on. I mean, you know, like, he's always yelling something to kind of like throw in a lyric. It's, you know what I mean, Dave? He's very loose on a lot of these songs.
Yeah, he's loose. He's definitely loose on this song.
Yeah.